The funeral plans for Her Royal Highness, the Duchess of Kent, who died at the age of 92, have officially been confirmed by the royal family. It's not your typical royal farewell. In contemporary British history, it will be the first Catholic royal funeral. A potent representation of the Duchess's personal path within the monarchy, her uniqueness, and her faith. We will go over the funeral arrangements in great detail in this video. We'll consider the Duchess's extraordinary life, discuss the significance of this service, and show how her decisions subtly changed the monarchy. Continue reading to see how each chapter of this tale relates to the overall theme of royal tradition and evolution. Westminster Cathedral will host a Catholic Requiem Mass for the Duchess's funeral. Her casket will initially lie in Kensington Palace's private chapel. Her family will congregate here for introspection. Hearst will move the casket to Westminster Cathedral on the evening of Monday, September 15th. Vespers and the rite of reception shall be upheld there. This is a very serious Catholic custom that is rarely associated with the British monarchy. The Requiem liturgy will be celebrated the next day, Tuesday, September 16th, at 2 p.m. The Duchess's desire to be honoured inside the cathedral's hallowed walls is fulfilled by this Mass. King Charles and Queen Camilla, the Duke of Kent, and their children, Lord Nicholas Windsor, Lady Helen Windsor, and George Earl of St Andrews, will all be present at the service. The casket will be transported to Windsor for interment at the Royal Cemetery in Frogmore following the Mass. She will lay here among the royal family's generations. On the day of the funeral, flags will be lowered to half-staff at all royal houses, as is customary. However, this service will be unique in many other respects. It won't be broadcast on television or accessible to the general public. Only intimate friends, family, and representatives of the Duchess's charity will be able to attend. What is so historic about this funeral? The service itself comes first. In Britain, prominent royal funerals have not been connected to a Catholic requiem service for generations. Catholics were historically excluded from the line of succession since the Act of Settlement in 1701. The profound rifts that followed the Reformation were represented in that statute. The Duchess of Kent did, however, quietly but firmly convert to Roman Catholicism in 1994. Since 1685, she has been the first senior royal to do so. Her choice was revolutionary at the time. The Duchess was disarmingly candid when asked why she converted. She once remarked, "I do love guidelines," referring to the Catholic Church. "I prefer to be aware of my expectations. You're going to church on Sunday, and if you don't, you're in for it," is a statement I enjoy hearing. Queen Elizabeth II accepted her decision, enabling her and the Duke of Kent to keep their royal titles and posts. This incident subtly changed how the monarchs handled religious issues in the contemporary era. The Duchess's funeral now, 30 years later, completes the cycle of her choice. King Charles will be attending a Catholic royal funeral for the first time in over 400 years. In his capacity as the Church of England's Supreme Governor, his arrival will be significant. The Westminster Cathedral itself lends even more significance. It was constructed in 1903 and has never before held a royal funeral. The soaring marble interior and Byzantine-inspired design will create a scene unlike any other royal goodbye. Thus, this funeral honors a woman's very personal faith while also breaking with centuries of custom. Yorkshire is where Catherine Lucy Mary Worley was born in 1933. She was raised at Hovingham Hall, a country estate that instilled in her a love of music, education, and the countryside. She is the daughter of Sir William Worley. She wed Prince Edward, Duke of Kent, Queen Elizabeth II first cousin, in 1961. Millions of people saw their wedding at York Minster, and she was crowned Duchess of Kent. She took up public engagements and provided support to her husband in her role, but she never pursued attention. Rather, she discreetly established a reputation for sensitivity and generosity. Her most well-known public appearance may have occurred at Wimbledon in 1993. She consoled tennis star Jana Notner, who had sobbed following a devastating loss, by presenting the trophy. One of the most poignant and enduring scenes in Wimbledon's history was that hug. The Duchess endured hardships within the palace walls. She experienced times of personal hardship and poor health. She found solace in the Catholic faith during these years, which eventually served as her compass for the remainder of her life. She left her public royal duties in 1996, and in 2002, she decided to live a quieter life and stop using Her Royal Highness in daily interactions. She committed her life to teaching music in elementary schools, frequently keeping her royal position a secret. She was simply known as Mrs. Kent by many parents and students. Additionally, she was a co-founder of Future Talent, a foundation that helps talented young musicians from underprivileged homes. Her final years were characterized more by compassion, teaching, and service than by grandeur. It was also a love story in the Duchess's own life. She was married to the Duke of Kent for over 60 years. Royal biographers have revealed tidbits of information about their dedication. Every week, the Duke would personally take his wife to the hair salon. A small but heartfelt gesture that revealed a lot about their bond. Now, as he gets ready to say goodbye, he and their kids and grandkids will be at the center of the funeral service. What can we expect on the day of the funeral, then? The Catholic ritual of the requiem will be performed before the service starts. Scripture readings, prayers for the deceased, and a performance of sacred music by Westminster Cathedral's choir will all be included. Instead of being formal or opulent, the atmosphere will be serious and contemplative. There won't be cameras like at the televised funerals of Princess Diana or Queen Elizabeth II since the Duchess desired a private service. This will be a private farewell. The casket will be taken to Windsor following the conclusion of the Mass. The Duchess will be buried there, alongside her ancestors, at the Royal Burial Place at Frogmore. The cemetery is a serene location between the Queen Victoria and Prince Albert Mausoleum, encircled by trees. Although only the King and Queen's attendance has been publicly announced, it is anticipated that the Prince and Princess of Wales would attend along with other senior royals. Flags will fly at half-mast nationwide as a visible symbol of respect and national sadness. In addition to commemorating the Duchess of Kent's passing, the funeral will usher in a new era of royal history. She made very personal decisions, including becoming a Catholic, living cheaply, and being devoted to education and singing. However, they had significant ramifications for the monarchy. Westminster Cathedral is hosting an unusual service. Her uniqueness, faith, and calm resolve to live true to herself despite the demands of royal life are all reflected in it. The world will see a farewell that is both historically significant and intensely emotional when Britain lowers its flags and the royal family comes together in remembrance. An homage to a duchess who combined faith with service, tradition with independence, and humility with dignity. I appreciate you watching. For more royal news and updates, please subscribe.